Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Shilamida with your hostess, Shilamida. Today I want to talk to you guys about gratitude. I have branded myself as the goddess of gratitude, and gratitude is the most important piece of life. And the way that I discovered this is when I was 23 years old, I had a really hard time with life. From 17 to 23, when I found out that my dad had cancer, I had a really hard time processing. And so I went on a journey of spirituality, and I was really searching for something. And the first thing that I landed on was Kabbalah, which completely changed my life. And then from Kabbalah, I started reading books from authors like Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, Deepak Chopra. I started learning about Chinese medicine, and the one common denominator that I was getting out of all of the things that I was learning was gratitude. If you would just be grateful, if you're just say thank you, if there's appreciation. And so I remember when I was about 27 years old and I discovered The Secret, and The Secret talked about being grateful, and my life was in such shambles. I mean, I was a single mom living on food stamps. Like, what did I have to be grateful for, right? And I know a lot of people think this, like, what do we have to be grateful for? Like, look at your life. My life looks nothing like your life. Why should I be grateful? And so that's like the biggest problem as to why you're not living out the life that you desire, because we're so busy looking everywhere but inward, and we're so busy wondering why everybody has and we don't have. And so this gratitude piece was a really important piece in my life, because if you go back to my very first gratitude journal, which I had one, those first couple of pages, if I wrote 3 sentences, that was a lot. I really had a hard time even thinking of what I could be grateful for. Forget about feeling the gratitude, right? Which is the next really important piece that we need to talk about, because what people don't understand is in manifestation, the manifestation is all about that feeling. It's connecting to the feeling, the knowing, right? So when I was first learning about all this stuff, like, I literally was just like, what do I have to be grateful for? I live in this small apartment. I'm overweight. I'm a single mom. I'm struggling. Like, I don't know what to be grateful for. And then I started literally looking around the room, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm grateful that I'm sitting in a room with air conditioning right now. Even though in my 2-bedroom apartment, I hated my air conditioners because I had the window air conditioners, right? But every time I got into that hate, right, that's a really strong feeling and emotion. Like, you can feel it even when I say it. You can see it in my facial expressions, right? So I'm like, well, what if I can shift that hate into gratitude, right? And so I would start thinking about this hot, sweaty, nasty day where everybody is sweating outside. And here I'm so grateful because I have air conditioning, even though it wasn't the air conditioning that I truly desired. But then I would feel what it would feel like to be in a big house and just have like this cool presence, right? Or like this cool room where I didn't hear this annoying thing in the window. And this is where it starts. Like, some of you listening or watching might be thinking, really? Like, that's what you were grateful for? But yes, that's what I was grateful for. I was grateful for electricity, right? Because there's people who are living that can't pay their electric bill, and so they're living in darkness. I was grateful for the shoes that I was wearing on my feet. And when I would start to not like my shoes, I would think about like children in Africa who will never wear shoes, right? Like, we don't think about the extreme of things, but it's the extremes that really helped me to start appreciating the moment and appreciating the now. And something that it really helped me in was grieving. My dad passed away when I was around 27 years old. I got pregnant 3 months after, and my life went into like a big whirlwind. So I didn't actually get to grieve his death. And when I would think about him, I would instantly cry. And I wouldn't have even been able to have this conversation with you years ago because like the grief was just so overwhelming. And so what I started doing was I started being grateful for my dad. I would be grateful for the time that we spent together. I would be grateful for the years that we had together. I would be grateful that he was a really good dad. And I would start thinking about all of the kids that had really shitty dads, right? Or the kids that got abused by by their dads, or the kids that got raped by their dads. And like, I would literally make myself go to the worst places possible so that I could cultivate those feelings of love and gratitude and appreciation. And eventually I got to a point where I was able to talk about my dad in a way where my whole emotional being wasn't overwhelmed with sadness and grief. And so if you take these practices into your life, you're going to see an instant shift. Because gratitude is this feeling inside. Like when I tell people to be grateful, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm grateful for my house, my car, my job, my kids, my this, my that, right? But it's like, wah, wah, wah. Like, I want you to actually feel the gratitude. Like, I'm so grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for when my children smile and laugh. I'm grateful when my children tell me that they love me. I'm grateful that I live this beautiful life. I'm grateful that I get to wake up every morning and I get to feel the sunshine on my face and I get to smell the beautiful smells of the flower. Like, you could just feel the difference in making a list of the things that you're grateful for and actually feeling the gratitude, right? And so I consider myself to be a master manifester. And the reason why is because it's this feeling, this knowing inside that I came to live this life and that everything that I see around me is possible for me. And this is where the shift happened from when I was living on food stamps to where I am now. In the beginning, when I was living on food stamps, like, I literally thought that there was only so many millions of dollars that were available in this life, right? I thought that people who were rich were born into that and they were supposed to be wealthy, and people like me, that wasn't supposed to happen to somebody like me. I always grew up with this perception that money was bad, rich people were bad, like that there was something wrong with living these lavish lifestyles, that somehow those people got that money by doing something bad. But then I started shifting my thinking and it's like, oh, well, that person, they were on food stamps and now they're living this amazing life. Or, oh, that person almost lost everything and went bankrupt and now they're living this life. And so I started looking at things as evidence, right? Like if I saw somebody having like this beautiful dinner date with like an incredible man at a fancy restaurant wearing beautiful diamonds, like that was like evidence for me that it was possible for me. So I started being grateful for those things. And I would literally imagine myself like in that situation, like what would it feel like to be at dinner covered in diamonds, like with this amazing man. So if you're not driving a car right now and you're sitting somewhere, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to put one hand over your heart and I want you to feel what it would feel like. Okay. So the things that excite me may not excite you. So let's go somewhere neutral. Let's take a couple of deep breaths and just anchor into this moment. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. One more time. And I want you to go someplace that'll make you really happy. Maybe it's the ocean. Maybe it's the mountains. Maybe it's indoors. Maybe it's outdoors. I just want you to go somewhere that you will feel so happy in. For me, my happy place is the ocean. I just love the way the waves sound when they're hitting against the sand. I love to hear the birds chirping in the background. I love the smell of the ocean. So what I want you to do right now in your happy place, I want you to feel the feelings around you. I want you to really be aware and conscious of the sounds, of the smells. I want you to feel the smile washing over your face right now as you're just experiencing this beautiful, happy moment right now. And I want you to imagine a person with you. Maybe this is somebody that you've already known in your life, and maybe this is someone who's coming into your life. And I want you to feel what it would feel like to just be totally, completely in love with this person. What does that feeling feel like inside? That butterfly feeling of love. It doesn't even have to be a romantic person. It could be a friend, a family member, that feeling of love, that feeling of happiness, that feeling of joy. And what if you guys were about to eat your most favorite meal? What does it smell like to smell the most favorite thing ever that you would want to eat? Does it smell sweet? Does it smell salty? Is it hot? Cold? What does it feel like? And I want you to envision a glass. Maybe there is the sound of a champagne bottle popping or a kombucha popping open. Maybe it's just a refreshingly cold glass of ice water. What does it sound like to hear it pouring into the glass? What kind of a glass is it that you desire to drink out of? Is it a champagne glass, a wine glass? Does it have color? Just heighten all of your senses right now. If everything that you ever desired was in front of you, what would that feel like? What would it feel like to taste the taste of your most favorite dish, moist in your mouth, just savoring the moment, smelling that intoxicating smell, hearing the sound of your favorite person laughing with you, dreaming with you, loving on you. That feeling inside just feels so good. And now while you're in this moment, I want you to think of your greatest desires. What is it that you want in this life? What is it that you want to experience? And I want you to think of what it would feel like to experience that. Maybe it's a place you want to go to. Maybe it's a thing that you want to receive. Maybe it's a place that you've really been longing to go to. I want you to feel what it feels like to be there. And on your next inhale, I want you to be so grateful for this moment, grateful for the person that's there with you, grateful for your heightened senses of taste and touch. I want you to be grateful for the things that you desire, those things that you don't actually have yet. I want you to feel what it would feel like to actually have them. It's so close, it's so in your reach right now. All you have to do is step into the next version of you in order to receive your every heart's desire. Feel that feeling. Love that feeling. Allow for that feeling to wash over you. It's in this feeling that you're magnetizing every one of your desires. It's in this moment that you are manifesting your every being, allowing for your body to calibrate to it. Inhaling all of the goodness in this life, releasing all of the doubt, all of the fear that's keeping you from your greatest desire. And in this moment, I want you to repeat after me. I am worthy. I am deserving of my every desire. I am grateful. I am love. I am light. I am free. I am allowed to dream. I am open to all the possibilities of life. I am receiving it all. I am open. I am love. I am light. I am love. I am light. I am free. I am allowed. I deserve it. I am worthy. Take a deep inhale in. Say thank you for whoever showed up for you today. Say thank you for this moment in time. I am grateful I allowed myself to have this moment. And when you are ready, I want you to open your eyes slowly. I just love this feeling, right? You could just feel this energy that we just cultivated. And I want you to be able to come back to that feeling anytime you want. It was literally a few minutes of existence that can bring us into this manifesting magic. It's literally this magical feeling inside that connects you to every one of your desires. And for some of you, that manifestation is going to happen this fast. You're going to finish listening or watching this show and something magical is going to happen right now. And for others, it's going to take a little bit of time. It may take a couple of days, a couple of months, a couple of years, but just know that every one of your desires is coming your way. One of my greatest manifestations is my bathtub. If you've ever seen my social media, I take baths probably twice a day. And when I was on food stamps, I had this little tiny bathtub. And when I was pregnant with my first son, I gained 100 pounds. So I would literally lay in this tiny little tub with this big stomach, and I would have to wash the water over my stomach, right? But I would just dream of the day that I would have my whole body submerged in a bathtub, and I would be able to take these lavish tubs, right? Tubby time, I call it. And so it took me 8 years to manifest my first bathtub that I could actually fit my entire body into. And so it takes time, right? But from that first bathtub, it didn't take that long for me to manifest my next bathtub. And so once you get into the energy of manifesting, it happens faster and faster and faster. And so what I would invite you to do if you wanted the bathtub is go rent a hotel room that has the bathtub that you're able to submerge your whole body into. Or do this meditation, this simple little act of gratitude where you can imagine yourself with somebody that you love, somewhere that you love, heightening all of your senses, and then imagine yourself in the tub. For some of you, it may not be a tub. You may be like, I don't even like to take baths, right? But the feeling is the same. And the manifestation energy is the same. It's just a matter of connecting to that feeling inside. And so when I ask you if you're grateful, I don't want you to just give me a list. I want you to really appreciate this knowing of, I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful for this moment. I'm grateful I had the opportunity to listen to this show that connected me to this. I'm grateful that I have Wi-Fi. I'm grateful that I have a device. I'm grateful that I have what I need to get me to the next level of where I'm going. Everything that you need is already inside of you. We're just being blocked by all of this outside noise. We're wanting to be where we desire to be faster than when we're ready to be there. And that's what I want to remind you. It's been 12 years since I've lived on food stamps. And it's only now that I'm really understanding and enjoying the abundance of my life. And I've made money throughout the last 12 years, but I never really connected to this feeling because I was always chasing the next moment. So what I invite you to do is connect to the now. Be here in this moment, in this now. Appreciate this moment, because every one of your desires is going to come with a plethora of problems and issues and heightened emotions that you may not be ready for right now. So everything is coming to you in divine timing, and it's the gratitude piece that's going to get you there. Be grateful right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this show today. I love spending this time with you guys. I put out shows every single week. I am all over social media. You can find me on my website at www.shilamida.com. It's SHILAMIDA. If you loved that little guided meditation, I invite you to go check out my meditations in my Shill shop. My journal, 31 Days of Gratitude, Create the Life You Desire, is all about manifesting. It will bring you to that place and that feeling of gratitude and that connective feeling to manifesting your every desire. If you hang out on social media, come find me on Instagram at 50 Shades of Shilamida. I'm also on Facebook by searching for, you guessed it, Shilamida. Anything you guys desire should and can be yours. I hope to see you soon. Thanks so much for watching.